This is Jordan Finley. We met in high school, were married not long after I got my third degree, and I've worked hard to give her everything she's ever wanted. A big happy home for all our kids to fill it up, and a nice big garden for her love of plants. We spent Sunday morning as a family. The kids made some Christmas crafts while my wife, my eldest son, Slater, and I decorated the tree, getting ready for Christmas. I always loved taking photos of them to hang on the walls. None of us had a clue such a blissful weekend would change all of our lives. Jordan's life changed in an instant. From happy housewife, stay-at-home mother of 6 kids, to mourning widow and single mother. But first let me introduce you to myself and my family. I already introduced my gorgeous, loyal, adventurous wife, whose life dream was to have a big happy family. Together we had 4 kids. Our firstborn, Slater, is a creative genius. Not long after, came Bailey, our little social butterfly. 1 year later we had our sweet little Miss Independent, Daphne. And our youngest Skylar is growing so quickly, he is our precious boy, though he may be a tad bit intense. You may be wondering about the other kids in the family that I haven't introduced. Well, to explain that, let's break down my family tree. I come from a family of mermaids. My mother's raised us all on the beach. I keep a bit of her ashes with my sister. My mother Candy, whom I'm named after, loved music and her garden. Unfortunately, a killer rabbit also loved her garden and fought her to the death for it.
No one has set foot in her garden since.
My mother Nalani was my best friend growing up. She taught me everything about the ocean and being a creature of it. I'll always think of her when I'm by the beach or in the water. Rin Finley is really the matriarch of this whole family. She always supported the whole family when I was growing up. She supported us all not only financially, from the money she made selling her paintings, but she was always there for us emotionally as well. All 3 of my mothers, no matter how different, taught all of us a lot growing up. I'm the eldest of my 7 siblings. Just a year older than my sister Kailani. She tragically passed about 6 years ago, just before her youngest son's birthday. She was a world-famous influencer on a trip with her husband and 2 sons when she laughed so hard her heart stopped. When I was 5, my mother Nalani and Rin had the triplets Ebony, Sandy, and Ivory. They may be triplets, but those 3 could not be more different. Ivory wanted to be a world-famous tattoo artist, before she tragically fell to her death, leaving behind 2 kids. Ebony and Ivory were the epitome of opposites attract. While their styles were completely contradictory, they were inseparable growing up. She is making a name for herself as a bodybuilder and influencer. The last of the 3 is Sandy. Growing up, Sandy was a tiny Picasso. We all thought she would follow in Rin's footsteps and become a famous painter. But when Rin's art started going missing, and Nalani started finding it stashed away in Sandy's bedroom, we all knew to keep a close eye on anything we didn't want disappearing. 10 years later, when I was 15, Candy and Rin had Cade, my only brother. 3 years later, Kailani and I moved away to college, so Cade and I honestly don't know each other very well. Adelaide is the youngest of this Brady bunch and is only a few months older than my eldest son. I actually met her for the first time at Candy's funeral. Sadly, only 4 months after Skylar was born, Ivory's husband, Satoru Miyamoto, who had been caring for their kids, was electrocuted to death. He was trying to make some breakfast for young Roxanne and Jasper, who lost their mother only 2 years prior. Unfortunately, a piece of toast was lodged in the toaster, and Satoru foolishly tried to retrieve it with, you guessed it, a fork. Roxy called the cops, but it was too late for Satoru. CPS contacted me as I was in Ivory's will, unbeknownst to me. Of course, Jordan and I took in Roxy and Jasper with open arms. Roxy is a little sweetheart, despite all she has been through at such a young age. She loves art, making new friends, and is doing well in school. Bailey and Roxy have quickly become close, and I think they will come to think of each other as sisters soon. Similarly, Jasper and Slater spend a lot of time together. Jasper is adjusting well, but definitely likes to spend a lot of time in his room alone, despite how outgoing he used to be. Slater has proven to be a very empathetic young man, talking with Jasper, providing a judgment-free shoulder to cry on, and a safe space in the treehouse he and I built together. I've talked a lot about myself, but allow me to really introduce myself. My name is Candy. Well, my name was Candy, and this was me. Mother, scientist, artist, philanthropist, and loving wife. That was Of course, until this Sunday night. If you are observant, you may be wondering who the seventh child in the household is. Well, allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Casey. I was reborn as Casey after I froze to death on my front lawn. I'll be honest, this is my first time having a Sim be reborn. And I didn't think about the lore implications of being reborn as my own wife's daughter. But, here we are.
Anyways, this is me, Casey Finley. This is my family.